So you're at a party, you bump into the neighbor here, same guy who either didn't return something or even took you to court for whatever reason. Okay, you're on the golf course. There's your boss who denied you a promotion and a raise, or you're giving away presidential medals of freedom, and there's one guy out there who went out of his way to make sure he took a shot at you on health care. Well, the husband of the woman who wants to beat you and the guy who just mouthed off about that health reform issue, essentially forcing you to change your position a little ahead of time. Well, welcome to the White House, Mr. President. This is the scene that played out today. Presidential Medal of Freedom. Obama obviously giving it not just to President Clinton, but to others. There was a bro hug, warm handshake, but we just imagined what really was going on behind the scenes. And Dominic, it's interesting because they need each other. Clinton needs him to turn this thing around here so his wife, if she runs and wins, doesn't inherit the mess. On the flip side, Bill Clinton probably needs, President Obama probably needs Clinton and some of the campaign magic in the midterms here to help out.
They need each other. It's amazing, Richard, because if you want to imagine the language and so on while they're standing there, probably President Clinton is saying, yeah, stand behind me because I'm the man. This is my house. This is what he's saying. And President Obama is standing behind him and he's saying, yeah, I have to give you this medal, but never forget, dog, I'm the one that beat you and your wife. So that's what they're saying to each other. But they very much need each other. And notice the words I use. That's probably the way that they talk, to each other. But they desperately need each other because Obama needs Clinton for his legacy and to get out of this mess he's in.
Obi, to Dom's point, the president said something today. He said, some reference to golf course. And golf course was where Obama, at least in the latest Halpern book, said, I can take Clinton in doses.
And also, if you recall, I don't know if you read the excerpt. I'm reading the book itself right now, Mark Halpern and John Howman, but Double Down. But in that book, it also talks about when they're both in the briefing room. And they went and did a joint press conference, and Obama had to go to some other event in the Blue Room or something like that, and he left Clinton at the podium in the White House. And there was all kinds of questions about, gee, what's really happening here now with Clinton on his own at the White House? I got to tell you, I think that the play here...
I know where you'd love to go there. But
I think the play here, though, for Obama, it kind of shows, yes, he needs him, but he also wouldn't have done this before the election. He had Gloria Steinem there with Clinton. Why not a former president having a more special ceremony with this medal, like Sister Teresa or something like that? Why not do it in the Rose Garden? Why do it with 16 other people? This is a man that's a former president. He deserved more than just being one of 16 getting this award, I think.
Well, I don't think he's...
Where were you 12 years ago?
I'm just saying. No, I'm not a fan of his, but I'm just saying, if Obama really wanted to show the love, and Obama really wanted to embrace him and do something, he would have made it...
Clinton third term thing right before he came on here. Yeah, right.
But I'm just saying, he would have done something more special for him and done that.
Hillary, maybe... I know how these things work. The presidents don't pick the awardees, okay?
Sure.
There's a separate group here, so nobody claims. In fact, there's Republicans on there and the whole list. So he didn't pick. And also, it'd be a trick to have Teresa.
Dick Cheney got it because he was Secretary of Defense, not Vice President. Colin Powell got it twice. There's no reason. I'm really curious why Hillary didn't get it this time, and then Bill could have done something bigger and better differently.
You two have been in the thick of these sorts of situations more often than I have, but I just have to imagine that they're both kind of political chess players. You're right, they both need each other. I bet you there's a little bit of respect. I don't know if it was the sniping that we might be imagining that there was. I'm sure it was a little
Andrew,
bit
don't you think there's a part of it which is, what's the president's nickname? No drama Obama, right? It's the very opposite.
That was a long time
right?
ago.
No, but it's the very opposite from the Clinton years, which is the complete opposite. I think personally, they couldn't be more different. One loves here to have the podium and the mic and to make sure everybody hears. And the other guy wants to say what he wants to say, but doesn't want to have to stay there.
There is a Kennedy connection here because of the president being one of the first ones to make these awards, because they changed the name, if I'm not mistaken, from what it was. But when they went to the gravesite today with the Clintons, why didn't they do this ceremony on a different day? I mean, it just seemed to be where it could have been a chance for the president to be back at the White House. Why they didn't make it a bigger show for the former president.
I have no idea. But the two presidents weren't just at the Medal of Freedom event. They were later together this afternoon, and it was a much more obviously somber ceremony, what Obi was just referencing. They were joined by both First Ladies, and they placed wreaths at the gravesite and eternal flame of John F. Kennedy. Both presidents very open in their initial campaigns and even recently influenced by JFK, and both at times here compared to him the first to Dominic, just like the first non-Protestant president, the first obviously African-American president, and then also Bill Clinton. There's that famous picture where he, as a young boy, and JFK, when he was coming through Arkansas, were in the same photo. There was a lot of parallels, but it's interesting. No president can go without the specter of comparison to JFK, almost regardless of party. We are certainly going to be talking much more about it later on this week. Friday will mark exactly 50 years since the assassination of President Kennedy, and we will honor him and his legacy with a special edition of RFL at 6 p.m. right here on RNN. Gentlemen, and I use that term very loosely, thank you very much. When we come back from the break here, we're going to debut a new feature here, Law Talk, and I know Obi plays an attorney on TV, but he is a consultant. Remember that out there, election boards. We're going to bring in 3 experts, 3 real lawyers with expert opinions and no hourly rate. And on the docket, free speech versus fairness. Talk about a case in New Mexico and a lot of other fascinating cases. It's all straight ahead on RFL. Stay with us.